Hi, and welcome to the lesparis.com podcast. I'm Les. This podcast is a short daily monologue that you can listen to. Use it to practice listening to English. Use it to stimulate ideas. Use it for BGM.
Hello, and welcome to the Les Paris podcast. You're listening to episode 73. Yesterday we talked about festivals, and today I'd like to talk about self-care. Self-care. What is self-care? You could say it's taking care of yourself. I did a little background research on self-care just before making this podcast. And one thing that jumped out at me was self-care is not self-indulgence. It's not treating yourself. It's not being extra special to yourself. Self-care is taking care of yourself so that you're a strong, healthy individual. And I found the next thing that jumped out at me was the 7 pillars of self-care. Now, I'll be honest, I haven't memorized what the 7 pillars are, but it struck a chord in me, and it seemed to be the same idea as I studied in high school when we learned about the ancient Greeks. These are areas of your life that you have to take care of. Physical area, so you have to exercise. The mental area, so you have to, be smart and study things. The social area, so you have to have good relationships with people around you. The spiritual area, which is kind of hard to talk about, but let's say your connection to the universe. And let's see, physical and mental and spiritual and social. Seems to me there was 1 or 2 more, and they have a few more on this 7 pillars of self-care, but it's all about making yourself strong. So you might read a book to enhance your mental self-care, or you might take a walk or go swimming for physical self-care. You might do a little bit of meditation for emotional or spiritual self-care. Oh, another one was a good diet. Eating proper food is really important. These are all parts of the self-care pillars. What do you do in your program for self-care? Well, that brings us again to the end of another episode of the Les Paris podcast. That was episode number 73 about self-care. Tomorrow, I'd like to talk about diets. You could say diets are one pillar of the 7 pillars of self-care. So let's talk about diets tomorrow. Thanks, and see you then.